guys, Coach Mason, opening comment, and then he'll be available for your questions.
Yeah. Tough loss, like for this group tonight. You look at this in ball game, and we've had our fair share of opportunities in these last couple of games, and like to come up short, you can look at a lot of things in it. Unfortunately, like for us, it seems like same feeling and same result. And like for this, I thought defensively played hard. Special teams, we left some loose change, man, out there. And then offensively, it wasn't enough. Altogether, it wasn't enough. And I told our team, the outcome changes when we make it so. You can only be close for so long. I told them, I'll put this on my shoulders. I'll work harder. I'll be better because I need them to. I need them to work harder. I need us to be better, like in situations, whatever that looks like. There are no rah-rah speeches. There are no, antidotes for having to win tough games. This is football, and it's always been that way. Did it come down to a field goal? It came down to a long field goal. Would have liked to have hit it, would have felt great, would have made the outcome seem different, but you didn't get it, and you know what? You sort of feel like you're right back where you were. And so for this team, I told these guys, man, we're going to take a little time off. We're going to assess it. We're going to get back to work. And then what we got to do on the other side of this bye is go to Delaware and find a way to win. But hats off to Missouri State. They found a way to make a couple more plays than we did. And we were down and light like some players tonight, but that wasn't the reason why we lost this ball game. We lost this ball game because just didn't do enough. So with that being said, I'll open it up for questions.
Coach, obviously a tough game to drop. How frustrating is that to lose the way you guys did? And what was the message to kind of rally the troops and tell them, just put it past you and go into next week, try to go 1-0?
I said, I'll put it on my shoulders, right? I mean, I don't need you looking down on social media and paying attention to things that really don't matter because, at the end of the day, man, people have a right to an opinion. They really do. I mean, look, man, they're fans and they want to see us be successful too. I've got to do a better job. And part of it is keeping these guys focused and keeping the main thing, right? You can look at stats, and stats just, you can win the stat line and still lose, and that's what it's been. So, we've got to be better in the space that we're in. We got to work a little harder, and we got to grind a little more. Neither team had a turnover, but the reality of it is, just not enough positive plays. So offensively, got to get back to work. Special teams, man, we'll find a way to flip the field a little more. And then, defensively, got to get a takeaway.
One of the positives was your defense did a pretty good job at bending but not breaking.
Yeah.
Just talk about that unit and how that big was. How big was that for them to come up and do that?
Yeah, I mean, they were short. They were short some players. When you look at it, you lose Abdul Muhammad. In that ball game, you lose Kalen Woods in that ball game, and you're trying to find a way, to get off the field. Like when I looked at it at halftime, I think they were 4 or 8, on third down, sitting at 50%. And second half, we got them off the field. So we just didn't turn that into points. So I think the defense, had a better second half. Obviously, working to slow that group down. The biggest thing that we got to be able to do is play a connected game. And it is offense to defense to special teams. Because what happens is, there's going to be some times, man, where we need, our offense to be able to, score points like we did tonight. We needed points. And kicking field goals is not the way. So we just have to make sure we don't point fingers. We got to look at the things that we do well. We got to continue to encourage doing those things well, and hopefully the trickle effect of continuing to push and break through leads us to a different place.
Derek, how concerned are you with the attitude of the team, the outlook? Are you concerned about that? You mentioned social media. Would you rather get back on the field next week or?
Nah, social media is social media. It's here to stay, right? I mean, I don't. I mean, our kids are gonna look at it whether I tell them to or not. I just have to make sure, man, that I frame the messaging like the way I need to. It's easy to fracture, and like I told these guys in the locker room, I mean, it's not about pointing fingers. You know, I mean, you're a Blue Raider, and this is a tough time. So what we have to do, man, is find a way to lean into each other. Like I said, I'll take it. I've been through this like a little bit. So like for me, I want these dudes to lean into the adversity. That means leaning into me, put it on my shoulders, and that's okay. They're gonna be fine.
Coach, obviously, you know, you would have liked to have seen Jacob hit the 50-yarder in his range at the end of the game, but was there maybe a thought after the fact of playing it more aggressively to try to get it a little bit closer?
Yeah, you know, listen, you thought maybe that you may hit it on the first run, but then after the first, you talk about playing aggressive. You know, like with that being said, I'll take a shot anytime I can take a shot. I think the big thing was, okay, we felt like we could possibly puncture. They did a good job of running the backer off the edge, man. And the guy makes a play for a loss. If you look at the front side, okay, if he can get out the front side, man, it's probably a 15-yard gain. Instead, man, it winds up being, you know, like a 2-yard loss. Like on the second play, you know, when you start to look at the clock, and the reality of it is, you know, you're trying to bleed this thing and not leave a lot of time on the clock, hoping that you're gonna, you know, get an opportunity. And then when you get to third down, you want to go take a shot down the field. A little bit, you know, I'll probably look at it again and say, yeah, I mean, that's what everybody does, right? You know, the reality is we didn't get the game won. So it'll fall on my shoulders. I'm good.
Coach, obviously at the mid point of the season now through 6 weeks,
Mm-hmm.
you know, what's just kind of your main takeaway of what the team has to do moving forward to turn the tides a little bit?
Scoring points. We're getting defensive, you know, stops, whatever that looks like. You know, that this thing was built like that way on the front end, you know, offensively to allow these guys to do some things. And, you know, I'll go back to why this game was the way it was and so close was because we didn't make a move in the first quarter when we had plenty of opportunities to. You know, this game goes back to what happened in the first quarter, not so much what happened towards the end of the ball game. You know, not taking advantage of momentum, opportunity, and just the ability to sort of create some distance, it haunts you. So the things that you don't get done early are the things you pay for late.
Saw a lot of new faces today, especially freshmen, kind of get their first reps. Is it open season everywhere at this point in the year for all positions?
Well, we've been traveling guys on special teams all year. There's maybe about, you know, 11 or so freshmen that travel, and some of those guys are going to have to play. I mean, you saw Chris Noble tonight, you know, hop on the field and play. Man, a lot of those guys are playing in special teams. They're athletic enough to play. Just trying to get the speed of the game to calm down for those guys because you're going to need these guys, you know, when it comes down to it. So nobody's off the table in terms of what it looks like, man. But we want to win. We just don't want to play guys, man. We want to put guys in position, man, where they can be effective, you know, for this team.
On Monday, Coach, you said that you fully expected to see Jacob Clark, and Deuce Bailey got the start.
Yeah.
Did he play the way that y'all were expecting him to, and is that how y'all prepared?
Yeah, I mean, look, he took off and ran a couple of times, but he also made some good throws. They did a good job of early, you know, like finding isolations. Like we were able to key in on that, like in the second half, and that's where you see, you know, the totals come down. So I got to give, you know, Coach Stu and that defensive staff like some credit just in terms of like what you saw, because they did some things with him in terms of the run game, the stretch, keep read, you know, some of these things that like you expect, but you don't know how fast somebody is until you get on the field. I mean, and he was a hiccup guy, you know. I mean, he can go beat. And a couple of times, man, and he took off for a couple of, like, nice runs. But I thought what you saw early, late was that we did a pretty good job of like caging the rabbit, making him play from the pocket, which is not his game. And we keyed in on some of the run game, which like we got some tackles for loss on some of that stuff. So again, we just reeled it in. Being down some personnel, we reeled it in late, and that gave us an opportunity to get off the field and get the ball back.
You mentioned Abdul Muhammad leaving the game early. What's the status on him going forward?
Yeah, they'll evaluate him. He went off with an upper body injury, and so what we'll do is evaluate here in the next 24 to 48 hours. And as you saw, he came back and he was on the sideline, and I'm hoping that he'll be okay. I talked to him after the game, and he seemed to be in solid spirits.
This season, you seem to be playing where at least you have a chance to make that winning drive and winning strike to win the game. But like you said, being close is not good enough.
Yeah.
What has to change for the team to win these type of games moving forward?
It's the execution, right? Third down, fourth down. Like I'm not going for it just to go for it, right? I'm going for it, man, because I feel in my mind, okay. Every opportunity on fourth down is 4th and 1, and we can get it. And so, man, you got to call it that way. But it's not just the way I feel. We all got to feel that way, okay? And I'm not saying that like people don't. I'm just saying, okay, man, when you play the game like this, you're playing for keeps. A couple of times, yeah. Some people say, well, yeah, man, you probably could have kicked the field goal, but I just didn't think we were in field goal range at the time. I wanted to make sure that the field, in defense was playing well. So for me, I think it's just about like these opportunities that we have to maximize. We have to maximize our opportunities. And I think I've tried to show all year, man, that I believe in the group. Sometimes, man, when they're struggling, you got to show that you believe in them. Because if you don't, then they're never going to get it done, right? And so you just got to keep giving them opportunities. And when you do, hopefully, man, they make you right. But again, those calls are on me, so I'll take the blame. All right, thank you.
All right, guys, it's D.R.E. McDonald.
Defensively wise, you all have done a lot better whenever it comes to red zone defense for you guys tonight. What do you think was clicking for you all, just making sure in the red zone that you're keeping them out of the end zone?
I think just the details in practice. We pay real good attention, just details, communication before, pre-snap, post-snap, and just overall just being a communicative defense. It's better as a unit that we can talk and, get through plays together. As you get through plays together, it's a lot easier as a defense. So that's what has helped these past couple games. Just talking, communicating a lot better, making it easier for each other,
DR, you had a pretty good game today, especially in coverage. How are you able to kind of, lock down maybe those talented receivers?
It's just every day being consistent. Coach Bryce Lewis, he harps on just being consistent every day, going in and doing the job, doing the details, being on top of the details. And the past couple of weeks, I've just been steady, just trying to one day at a time. And I'm able and blessed to be able to have a good day today.
Amy kind of touched on it with the red zone defense, but you guys gave us some chunk plays at times that got them in the red zone, but then bounce back, force a field goal. What's really going through your mind, to try and erase that and just play ball in the 20s?
Just the bend don't break mentality. You know what I'm saying? As a defense, just to be able to maybe give up something, an error, and be able to bounce back as a unit and handle those and just correct on the small things we may have mishapped on and messed up on it before, and just bounce back and be able to play ball together because we're a unit.
Going into this game, the quarterback question for Missouri State, you're preparing for two different quarterbacks. How do you think you prepared for Deuce Bailey, collectively holding him to 20 points?
We prepared very well. We just went out, watched film, and really paid attention to maybe we would have got 12, maybe we would have got Deuce. We just really just came out and we game plan for both, because you never know. And practice throughout the week was very intensive on both of them. And so we was able to be very good as a defense, as a collective, to take advantage of those opportunities we was given.
As one of the more veteran players on this team, you get 2 more weeks and you get to go on the road to Delaware. How do you bounce back from a game like this?
Sit down, take some time, just think about it. Don't look at the film. We don't look at the film tomorrow, and just see how we can progress. We can continue to keep progressing. Every game we've progressed as a defense. We've progressed as a team. So now we get 2 weeks to just see it, lock onto it, correct the details, and come out fast, come out hard when we go play Delaware.
What are kind of some of those things you're talking about progressing? What is this defense missing? It's hard to really pinpoint that as good as you guys have been, but is there any areas that you think that you guys could be improving?
Just communication. As a unit, we have to be better communicating, talking, being a stronger vocal team. Earlier in the season, communication wasn't terrible, it wasn't bad. It just could have been better. There's a lot of things that, it just could have been better as a defense. But communication is progressively getting better every week. And that's just throughout practice this week, it was just communication. Communication pre-snap, communication post-snap, communication during the play, just so we're all on the same page. We do well together, we fail together, everybody's on the same page.
You got middle linebacker Alex Mitchell back tonight. Do you feel like he helped with the communication, and what impressed you with him coming back so quickly?
Definitely. Alex definitely came in and he talked to us, and he was able to give us that oomph that we needed, that we may have missed from him being out a few weeks. He definitely just came out with a burst of energy, flying around, just making plays like he always does, So it was good to have him back.
Anything else for Jari?
Thank you.
All right, Cam, 114 yards, career high for you, and that's off of just last week. Or continuing to build off that last week. What's going through your mind right now? What was clicking tonight on the field?
First off, all glory to God. Next, I just come to work every day, do what I'm supposed to do. Then my teammates, they helped me get to that. My offensive coordinator, my coaches, we just worked and worked and worked. So the only thing going through my mind is it wasn't unexpected because that's what I worked for all week, all my life playing this game. So, yeah, it was just expected.
Big 50-plus yard touchdown in the second quarter to get you guys ahead. Just kind of talk about that play and how you're able to get so open and make the touchdown.
First off, I was able to get so open because of my O-line. Like we've been preaching all week, ride the bull. That means stay on the blocks longer. So they allowed me to have that much time to get the separation that I needed, and then Nick threw a great ball. So it was just easy. All I had to do was catch it.
Slow start to you this season, but the last 2 games, I think 97 yards last week and then 114, 2 touchdowns today. How good does that feel to bounce back and have big games for your team back-to-back weeks?
It feels great, I guess, but we not winning the game, so that only goes so far, I'd rather win and have 0 stats than have a great game and lose the game. That's the type of player I've always been.
Cam, like Emmy touched on it a little bit earlier, you've kind of rose, up the stat sheet the last couple of weeks. How's, just your chemistry with Nick just developed over the last couple of weeks?
Well, over the last couple of weeks, it kind of go back to my freshman year. When I first came here in 2023, I was with Nick. So, it goes way back. So now I'm just happy that we get to show the world about the connection.
You mentioned you guys aren't winning games. What are you guys missing, and how do you fix that going forward?
I don't feel like there's not many teams we played this year that just came on the field and beat us. I feel like we beat ourselves. It's like the details that we've been talking about all week. We just got to put it together on both sides of the ball, and that's how we put the next foot forward to go actually win. It's the small things of why we're losing the game, whether it's a play that happened in the first quarter or maybe a play in the fourth. It's always a small detail, little play throughout the game. We didn't just lose that game because of a missed field goal kick. We lost that game way before that kick.